Budgets or premium? That's the real question when it comes to tyres, isn't it? You got people screaming out Michelin PS4Ss are the best. Others saying you don't need to spend that much money. What's the truth? Is there a truth? Let's find out. There's just so many choices out there, isn't there? There's your proper budgets, 30, 40 quid a tyre. Then I suppose you got your mid-range, maybe 50, 60, 70, 80 quid. And then I suppose you got your premiums upwards of 100. And I'm just talking on 225, 40, 18s. You know, obviously your 20s, 22s, they're all going to be way more expensive. So what should you spend? What it's about really, isn't it? Trying to find what suits you. Should you opt for the budgets? Why would you opt for the budgets? Should you go for the premiums? And why would you go for the premiums? Why might you opt for a budget tyre? Well, I suppose money. Money could be the reason. I suppose it makes a lot of sense, you know, if you don't have £100 plus to spend on a tyre, it's, yeah, I suppose it's a good shout. Why would you opt for the premium? Well, I mean, it's just all about outright grip at that point, isn't it? I mean, you could maybe argue that premium tyres are fuel saving, marginal, I suppose it adds up over life at tyre, but I don't think that's why people buy them. Road noise. I found that personally myself in the past. I had a set of Continental Sport Contacts. They were great tyres, very quiet. Got great mileage out of them. But they were expensive, really expensive. And then when you get a nail through the near to the sidewall and it ruins the tyre, yeah, it's pricey. So what can we say for the budgets then? Well, cheap and cheerful, I suppose. If you're spending £40 on a tyre and then you're spending, I don't know, say £160 on a premium tyre, are you going to get 4 times more value out of that tyre? I personally don't think so. But to find out, I went up onto the North Yorkshire moors the other day for a proper drive. Me, my brother and his friend, hooning about a bit. Thrashing it around. You know, putting it into some corners we probably shouldn't have quite so quickly. But look, we'll say it was for science, shall we? I put the Astra for its paces and budget tyres that were 42 quid a piece. Why would I fit 42 quid budget tyres to a 310 horsepower car? I can hear it from here. Well, it came about when I had to replace the Michelin PS4Ss that were on it. Now, a month or so ago, it was cold, wet all the time. And to be quite honest with you, the PS4Ss were just spinning up. They were lighting up left, right and centre. And I hated the tyre. It was good on a dry day when it was warm. And there were so few and far between that the rest of the time, I was just spinning them up. What's the point? Honestly, it was doing my head in. So I made the decision, rightly or wrongly, to fit budgets. And my thinking was, if I fit the budgets now, when they're probably due replacing in about 6 months' time, we'll be into some decent weather and you know how it is. And you know what? Up on the Yorkshire moors, hooning it around, did I miss the PS4Ss? No! Honestly, they performed really well. Like, really well. My brother, in his Skoda, he's got a fitted with a 180T, 200, I want to say 70-ish horsepower, there or thereabouts. I mean, that was on even more budget tyres. They were like 34 quid, I think he said, a tyre, which is ridiculous. And again, he was sending it, and let's face it, we're all still here to tell the tale. So, I mean, there's something to be said for budgets. It honestly, coming off a roundabout, absolutely nailing it, second, third, you might spin up the inside tyre, but I mean, you can regain the grip. It's not unbearable, and to be quite honest, it's fun. However, brother's friend in his Astra GSi, that was on Accelera, you know what, I can't even remember the name of them. They're Accelera something or others. They're like a street legal track tyre. I'll post up a little shot of a tyre here. There you go. So that was what he was running, And I've not run them personally, but him and my brother both run them, and they both love them. And they did perform well. You know, he was arguably wheel spinning a bit less than we were. But did he have more fun because of it? I don't think so. It was just outright fun for everyone, really. I loved it, everyone loved it, yeah. So let's get a bit more into the nitty gritty of what I think of the budgets then. In the wet, they're not as great. They lack a bit of stopping and a bit of getting going, and they're a little, yeah, they're not great in the wet. The wet is where the budgets for me fall apart. I've actually fit the same set to my Audi because of the Audi, I only run on budgets. Never really felt the need for anything more than budgets, if I'm honest. Get all right mileage out of them. What were they on the Audi? 20-inch alloys and maybe, I don't know, I want to say 60 quid a tyre. But the alternatives are pushing up to nearly 200 quid a tyre for a premium, and there's no way I'm ever going to see the worth of that. I don't care what people say. But yeah, getting back to the budget tyres. If you're pushing it hard and you've got a lot of power, it does give up a little bit in the wet. They're not great. But like I said, in my Audi, they're more than ample. In the dry, the traction is pretty insane. I mean, I honestly couldn't fault them in the dry. Really, honestly, they were great. When it comes to wear, what do I expect out of them? They're a budget tyre. They're not premium. They're not going to last forever. I know this. The Continentals I had on my Corsa VXR, I think I got 18,000 miles out of them. It's pretty insane. That didn't really have enough power to spin tyres up though, so I would have expected them to last a bit longer. This, I'm struggling to believe that any tyre I put on this is going to last long. If I got 6,000 miles out of these, I'd be over the moon, if I'm honest. The way I'm driving it, I'd probably anticipate nearer to 4. With premiums, I'd maybe say the difference would be between the 4 and maybe 8,000. I'd maybe get double mileage, maybe. But again, you're paying nearly 4 times more for a premium than a budget. Is it worth it? Maybe. In the summer, I do plan on putting some premium tyres on. We'll see how much better they do in the summer on premiums. But I mean, honestly, I honestly can't fault them. So these are the Accelera PHI tyres. Like I say, I paid about 42 quid a tyre for them. They're actually a nice looking tyre, if I'm honest. The sidewalls have got the protection in them for the rim. They're actually really, it sounds stupid. Some tyres are really crap for putting tyre gel on. These are actually quite nice. Nice looking sidewall as well. I mean, some people say aggressive tyres look nice. Yeah, I don't buy into all that, but it's a nice looking tyre, if I'm honest, as far as attractive tyres go, I suppose. I mean, I suppose another question to ask is, when I change to a premium tyre, what am I going to go for? I'm still not sure, is the answer. I know everybody's raving about the Michelin PS4Ss at the moment. Like I say, I didn't overly rate them in the wet and when it was cold. I know they're a summer tyre and it's not designed to work well then, but I don't know, it just really put me off. The dry days were good, but you got to drive the car so fast to hit a limit of a PS4S that I'm never really that fast. The Accelera 651 Sport is probably what I'd go for over a PS4S. I feel like it's a really good mid-range between all-out grip and price. They come in on this about £100 a tyre, and they're kind of like a track dedicated tyre. And in the summer, it's mostly what I'd be doing would be sort of like, I'm looking towards doing a couple of track days. So to do a couple of track days on track tyres-ish, that's kind of where I want to be at. They're a good few quid cheaper. There's also stuff like they've still got the Continental Sport contacts. I loved them before. I think they're coming in around, again, at about the £100 mark, but I think I want to go something more track focused and go for some track days, if I'm honest. So, Accelera budget tyres on a 310 horsepower car. I didn't think it'd work. Do you think it works? Let me know your thoughts. Should I go for the Accelera track tyres, or should I go for PS4Ss like everybody else? Let me know in the comments. I'm out of here.